Hi everybody, welcome back to The Trend. Today's trending topic is going to be another Singles Inferno episode. Today we're talking about episodes 4 and 5, which were miles ahead and more juicy than I think for seasons 1 and 2 combined.
Yeah.
Like, they really picked people that they knew would, like, shit stir, and you could tell from the beginning when they were introduced that they were going to shit stir. It was crazy.
Yeah, can I just say, Gwon-hee thought he'd be the main character, but Hajong is really the main character, and the fact that she's giving him shit is...
We'll get into it.
Time. Yeah.
But before we do that, we asked a question at the end of our last video, which if you haven't seen, you should go watch, and we were basically asking which... male contestant from seasons 1, 2, or 3 left the best first impression on you, and our options were Hyunsung, Jungwoo, Jinyoung, or Gwon-hee. Yo, if you voted Gwon-hee, I don't know what to say, but the results...
giving red flag.
Yes, the results are kind of...
not shocking.
Half surprising, because, okay, Jinyoung won with 54%. Gwon-hee, I did not expect to get second.
You know, for a long time, he wasn't. But then, I don't know, I think it's because it's this season, he's at the forefront of people's minds, and he is very different from any of the other contestants, so I could see why people are kind of attracted to...
something different, something fresh, something, Right? So he got 30%, and then Jungwoo got 8%, and then Hyunsung got 8% as well. Okay, so I think what I think is the biggest, most interesting thing of both of the episodes is Gwon-hee's little love square that he's going on. 1, 2.
He thinks it's a love square. He thinks he's the...
Gwon-hee? Okay.
Oh my god.
No, you go ahead.
My problem with Gwon-hee is that he thinks he's the cream of the crop, belle of the ball. He's, like, I kept saying every time we were watching, I was like, does Gwon-hee think he's the girl in the relationship? Yes! He's like, I'm the prize. You know, like, whoever, you got a brownie point for that, you get a brownie point for that. Let's see which girl comes at me first.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
He was acting a little too... Gwon-hee was acting a little too girly for my liking. The way he was, like, wanting the women to all approach him and court him. And then also, when he had a talk with Hajong and she ate his ass up, and he was there pouting. He was there like this.
Yes, the fact that he couldn't even at least acknowledge that what he said, which was pretty disrespectful, could offend her. Even if he didn't think he was wrong, you could at least acknowledge someone's feelings. You know, that's kind of what I loved, and I think a lot of people loved about Jin-suk and Min-young, which we'll get into them later, but,
he just sat there and pouted. Yeah. He was like, well...
Yeah, well, if you think about it from my side, no one cares about you.
Literally, nobody cares, I promise you. He was acting like a girl. Like, he was straight, the pillow on his lap, too, he was like, I was like, you are so punchable. Like, you have a punchable face.
But you know what's so weird is, like, he must just have a really strong ego, which, whatever, that's being a 36-year-old man. But the fact that even all the other guys at the campfire were like, whoa, these girls have names. Like, this one, like...
Yeah, and then he posted that Instagram picture.
Yeah, I think he acknowledged after when he knew the backlash that was gonna come out. The other thing that I really liked, which, you know, Yuri, up until this point, I've learned to say her name, please.
Yeah, you can say her up. It was like, that's not how you pronounce her name.
I actually knew how to pronounce her name, but you know when you're so tired and you're just like, these are still new characters and I'll still learn them, whatever. Yuri with a Gyuri. She was kind of quiet and didn't really speak. And then when she sat down in that girl's tent, she was like, who's Gwon-hee think he is? She's like, Gwon-hee thinks he's got a chance with me? Like, I'm not even thinking about this guy. Oh my god, Gyuri, you got a fan in me after that comment. Like, she was too funny in that.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. When I first met Gyuri, I was like, like, this kind of switch up from being quiet to being bubbly. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know if I vibe with her. I love her. The more she talks, the more I'm like, serve. Because she knows that she's super confident in the fact that she's like, I know, like, who I am. Like, I don't need to be desperate for Gwon-hee's attention.
Yeah.
I don't need to, like, chase this man. But she's also not rude. Like, she still sat and talked to him and, like, heard him out even after he called her this one.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, what a legend. Honestly, all of the girls in that tent that night that were gossiping about the men, legends.
Oh my god, they ate that conversation up. That was so... Like, if the rest of the season flops, that's fine with me, because that conversation in the girls' tent was too good.
Yeah, it was so much better than the last seasons. Like, the last seasons, they were mad gatekeeping. I was like, no, you guys need to spill the tea with each other.
That's the thing. I said when we watched season 2, it felt like they never really wanted to talk about other contestants and stuff. And this one, they were like, "Did you hear he said this?" And they're like, "Oh, in our conversation, he said this."
Yeah.
I was like, this is what I've been wanting from these girls, because the men can't keep getting away with it like this.
That's what I'm saying. The fact that they figured out on their own that Hobbin, like, had all of their candies. Like, I was like, that is some next level
And Ha-jung's, like, a big thinker. The way she was like, yeah, but he asked me that question, which he was basically insinuating, would I go to paradise with him? Like, these girls are next level thinking. The guys can't pull a fast one on them.
Yes. I think the girls this season are really good. Like, I like almost all of them, like, a lot. Moving on, though, we'll hop into Minyoung and Jinsuk. Listen, I'll let you start with this one.
Listen, until she proves me wrong and says something outright disrespectful about one of the other girls, I really don't care if she disrespects the men. You can never make me hate Minyoung. I think people are dogging on her too freaking hard. You know what? It's not her fault. It's obviously an internal thing where someone gets validation from external things. So, you know, other men being interested in her, blah, blah, blah. But I could only imagine what it's like to go on a dating show. And again, it's only they were on their third night. 3 days, and everyone's locked her off because of Jinsuk. And it's not that his response was great. He's oh my god, I love Jinsuk. He's a good man, Savannah. He's a good man. But I just think I could only imagine how much insecurity that would bring out of me. That people think Jinsuk is a stranger to Minyoung still. You can't blame the girl for not acting like she's wifed down to Jinsuk.
Yes, and everyone online that I've seen so far has been way too fucking harsh on Minyoung, number one. And also,
don't do my girl like that.
And also the host was so harsh on her when they were like, bet she wishes she said this. It's like, oh my god, she literally never said anything, like, super crude or mean to Jinsuk from my, like, perspective. Yeah. And the other thing that bothered me is, like, I know what Jinsuk meant when he said, like, you don't have to explain yourself to me. Like, that was a good thing to say. But I feel like she wanted to, like, tell her side of the story because it's being broadcasted on TV. Like, if she doesn't say why she did certain things, nobody's gonna know. And they're just gonna be like, she's a fucking bitch. Like, why'd you do that? So she probably wanted to say it not just for him, but also, like, the viewers. And he, like, didn't let her. Not unknowingly. Like, it's not like he did that on purpose. But, yeah, the consequences of that were that the hosts were like,
they were a little too harsh on her. Because the thing is, even when Jinsuk was vibing with Minji, which I loved, right? Because I felt like he wasn't getting the love that he needed as being the best guy on the show. By far. But why were they bringing up Minyoung so much when he was on a date with Minji? Like, just talk about their chemistry. Stop being like, Minji needs to step it up. Minyoung needs to step it up. Oh, she lost her man. Blah, blah, blah. Like, she never even, like, claimed him. Is it so wrong for her to just be like, can I have a minute to think? And the other thing that really bothered me, which we'll talk about something else after, was during the campfire when Habin was like, control your woman to Jinsuk. Is that not just proving her point? That they already see her locked down, wife down to him?
Yeah, and I think, like, it's a male thing where they're like, I don't want to disrespect the other men, so I'm gonna, like, not talk to her. But it's like, the women don't want that. Like, the women on this show want to date around. They don't want to be like, I can't look at her because that's disrespectful. Like, bruh, you're on a dating show.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on, because we could talk about them, I feel like, literally forever.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll go on to Xian and Minwoo.
And can I just say, sorry, I think Minyoung's been the most honest female about her feelings the whole time.
Yeah. Ha-jung's pretty honest. But yeah.
But Ha-jung's, like, almost playful to a point where I don't know if she says everything. But yeah.
Xian, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like they're not giving her enough screen time for me to really care about her and her couples. Like, I really love Minwoo, because I think he's, like, sweet and quiet and handsome, but I don't think they gave the couple enough screen time for me to be like, oh, like, they're so good together. Do you know what I mean? Like, their date was kind of, like, very lackluster for me, so I was like, whatever.
Have they been on a date?
It wasn't, like, a date, but it was, like, a
convo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, So, Xian's date with Wannick, I don't think Wannick is her type at all, but I think he flatters her so much that she kind of feeds into it, where it's like...
Yeah, every girl wants to feel like she's liked.
She wants to feel flattered, right?
Yeah.
She's gonna go where, you know, she feels wanted. But I think her and Minwoo actually do get along really good, and I actually like Xian's personality, where it's very... Like, she seems like a very time and place person. Mm-hmm. So, normally, she's just very poised and elegant and, you know, feminine. And then once you get to know her, she's a little more chatty. She has really strong opinions. Like, you can't ask her something she doesn't have an answer for. And I appreciate that in someone. And I think that compliments Minwoo, because Minwoo don't speak.
Yeah, I don't know if he's, like, shy. I don't know if he's shy, but he doesn't talk a lot. But it's okay, because he's so handsome, I guess.
I was going to say, as soon as we found out he was a model, I was like, talk about your looks carrying you through life, which is valid and fine.
Oh my god, I wish that was me.
that makes sense.
You wish that was you, huh? Yeah, her and Wannick I don't really see going well together, but, Wannick did win a single brownie point with me, like, this fucking matters, when he won that game.
Yeah, like, I think he did have the smallest girl, but it was the fact that he was such an underdog that really made it, like, an even grander win.
Okay, let's move on to Hopin also, because this is another this is another person, contestant, that I feel like has gotten a lot of shit, and I don't necessarily agree with at all, because from what I saw in the episode, yeah, it was a little weird that he, like, flipped a switch really quickly, but I can also completely understand that happening if, like, you're feeling so down the whole show, feeling so unwanted the whole show, feeling probably like the ugly duckling out of the guys because none of the girls are talking to you, and then all of a sudden you get this, like, huge compliment that actually everyone is interested in you. I can see why you would switch up. But the hosts were like, oh, look at him acting all weird now. Like...
Well, so the other girls said it too.
Yeah.
In the tent when they were like, did you see him last night? Like...
Yeah! No, but I think he was just drunk as fuck, because the scene that they panned to during that, when they were like, oh, he was so weird last night, was him walking on the dark, like, in the dark on the beach. I was like, this man is drunk as fuck. Like, what are you...
Yeah, and can I just say, side note, anyone that wants to come for Minyoung for what she said to Jinsuk in that conversation, I think she was probably tipsy, and the fact that she cried after, I think she was just so overwhelmed with emotions, and she didn't know what to do. And again, imagine crying to a stranger.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But yeah. The reason why I don't give Haben as much shit as I think people online have given him, I could see the strangeness, but I do think he genuinely was trying to be respectful when two people, Guani and Gyuri, were like, how many candies did you get? And he shotted both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, someone smug really could have just been like,
well,
you know...
I got guess. How many was that again? Yeah. I think I lost count.
Yeah. Count with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it is one of those things where it's almost like, it's such a particular situation that he can't help but feel, not uncomfortable, but like he can't hide it.
Yeah.
Because it's such a 180 from where he was 6 hours ago.
Yeah. Before we move on, I thought we could briefly go over Minkyu, even though they are not giving him enough screen time to be relevant right now.
Yeah, he's kind of become like a NPC.
And that's weird, because I thought he was one of, like, the more attractive guys, in my opinion.
Well, he also had dates out the gate.
Yeah. The only thing that I'll say about him, which I thought was kind of weird, I forget what phrasing exactly he used, but he said something about, like, oh, I didn't appreciate how Gwan he was talking to Gyuri because he knows that, like, her and I have a thing. And I was like, ugh, you're on a dating show. Stop claiming her. Like, Gyuri never said she would only talk to you.
Yeah. And it's also, again, in the context of a dating show, I don't blame contestants for wanting to cater more towards the opposite sex, or whoever they're interested in, I should say. Like, they're not necessarily there to make friends.
Yeah.
Like, they're there to date. So, I didn't get that whole thing. Just too possessive and weird.
Okay. Lots to discuss with the lemon Candies situation. First of all, I love the idea of it, because I think giving them the option to pick more than one person was so great, because if it's one person, Haben would have got no candies. Because, again, he was everybody's second option, but I don't think...
Hajang's only.
Yeah, he was Hajang's only. But I feel like most girls, he was like, oh, I just don't know enough about him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I really appreciate the fact that they did it this way this time, because now everybody can actually know, like, okay, people are interested in me.
Yeah, right.
Habin got 5. Surprising, but not surprising.
Yeah. 5 is a lot, but I get all the girls' mindsets when they picked him.
Yeah, like, he's mysterious still.
Yeah.
Yuri got 4. Also not surprising.
Yeah, also not surprising. I mean, it's surprising because it's one of those things where it's like the guys, I guess it's not surprising. I guess she's like the female, Habin, like she's the, when Jin Young was like, that's not gonna work in her favor, like in this context she needs to be social, blah blah, and here she goes getting the most candies.
Yeah, when you're mysterious it works in your favor because people are like, well, I don't know them, so of course I'll give one of my candies to them.
But it's also how Gwani said she's kind of like the typical girl men would like.
Yeah. Hajang not giving her lemon candy to Gwani was
such a power move.
Literally, Gwani thought when he got 2 that it was from Hysun and Hajang, and when she said, "Oh, I only gave 1,"
he went.
He was smug as fuck. He was like,
"Oh my god,
embarrassing."
And Young got 1 candy. Again, proving her point. These men had an opportunity to just give her candy just to get to know her.
Yeah.
Jinsuk's the only one that gave it to her.
Yeah. Because they're like, she's locked off. Which literally what she was upset about. And people are like, she's such a bitch. Why is she upset about that? Are you crazy?
They had the chance to just give a candy just to show interest. And these guys said no.
Oof. Okay, moving on. We'll talk about the new girl, Minji. She's pretty similar to Minyoung. I'm not gonna lie. She's bubbly.
She reminds me of Minyoung and Shion the most.
Yeah, she's bubbly, she's smart, she's pretty.
Yeah.
What's more interesting about her, I think, is her dates. So
that's all we have from her, but yeah.
Yes. I think her dates went fairly normal. I can tell that she mirrors whoever she's with. Because with Minwoo, she was, like, really, like matches
timid.
energy. Yeah, matches energy, like, timid. And then when she was with Gwonhee, she was, like, kind of joking, kind of teasing, kind of whatever. And then, yeah, it was really funny when she picked literally Jinsuk and Minwoo. Like...
But I get her reasoning. She was like, physically, you're my type.
Yeah.
Personality, you're my type.
Yeah. She's like, let me see if there's anything there. Because I'll take the more physically attractive one, but if there's nothing there, then I'll go with Jinsuk.
Yeah, she's like, let me see if I can draw something out of him. And the way she was like, she went to her date with Jinsuk, she was like, nah. I couldn't.
But, like, I love Minwoo. Like, he's so cute. Like, I genuinely find it, like, endearing. And, like, I don't know, he just gives such, like, soft boy energy where it's, like, he's not, like, too aggressive. He's not too, like, invasive.
Yeah, I'll say this. I made the joke about Minwoo's looks carrying him through life, so he doesn't have that much of a personality. But the one thing that I think that sets him apart from the other guys is he seems to be really well-mannered. Like, he actually treats the girls around him really polite, and I think that's what attracts them to him. Mm. I said this before, Jinsuk being the only one that works in customer service, that's why he's got the chat.
Yeah.
That's why he's actually a normal person that has normal empathy and normal reactions. Like, when he was talking to Minyoung, I was like, the fact that I'm amazed by this conversation means the bar's on the fucking ground, because he's known the girl 2 days, and he's like, you know what, that's fine with me. Like, you want to talk to other people. And we're all like, oh, she owes him her life.
Literally, that's the energy the hosts were giving. It's like, babes, all he did was offer her a normal amount of space and time.
And everyone shamed her, like she said, to his face.
And also, even Jinsuk, I feel like he said that, but then after he met Minji, he kind of did, like, go back on his word.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't, like, truthfully being like... Because he said, I'll keep going after you, Minyoung. And then as soon as another girl kind of, like, piqued his interest and was interested in him, he was like, well, no, why should I be interested in Minyoung when she's interested in me?
Here's the thing about...
That's fair, sorry. Yeah. I feel like that's fair, but it's also, like, it makes it your previous words, like, less admirable.
Well, it's like how Gwani said to Hysun, like, you're gonna be interested in other guys, like, I'm just all for you, like, blah, blah, blah. And then...
turned around and
went to Hajun.
Yeah.
But the thing is, too, is, like, I don't even blame Jinsuk for that, but it's just the fact that they're treating Minyoung so bad is what's upsetting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, she didn't even, after they had that conversation, it's not like she flat out ignored him. It's not like she flat out, fed completely into him. I think she did such a good job of, like, I'm not gonna sit beside him all the time, but I'm still gonna make jokes with him across the table. Like, I don't know, I didn't think she did anything that crazy.
No. Now we want to quickly talk about the host, because I feel like there's actually something to be said here. Previous seasons, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if it was the cultural context I was missing of, like, these aren't really my celebrities, so I don't really care that much about what they have to say. But last seasons, we were like, oh my god, they're so dry, like, I really don't care for their input. This season,
I live for the input.
They brought the heat. Like, they brought their honest-ass opinions. And I love it.
You know, I think the fact that they're seeing the contestants be so honest about other contestants, it's making them be more honest about other contestants. Because that was my problem, is that their responses felt too dry, where they were almost scared to, like, dog on someone. Whereas now they're like, yeah! Jin Kyung's face, she's always like...
Jin Kyung is the best host. Like, every time it pans to her, she literally has the exact reaction that I have.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I'm disgusted, I'm like, she's disgusted, and she's like,
yeah. And when she thinks someone was getting dogged, she's like when she thought Guani or someone had none, she was like,
yeah. But the best part about her is, like, she will dog on people if they're not getting dogged on, but I can't remember who it was, but they were already kind of, like, getting heat from everyone else, so she was like, okay.
Like, she was like, you guys said your piece, I'm not gonna say anymore.
Yes, I love her. Dahi, I think, is...
She's sweet.
Yeah, she's sweet.
I think
she's more sensitive. She's, like, more understanding.
She's really intuitive with the couples. I feel like every time she speaks on a couple, she kind of nails it.
Yeah, but also not my fave, because she never gives the juice. She's not mean.
I think she's genuinely all for love, so she really just wants the couples to stay together.
Yeah, that's sweet. Okay, Kyuhyun? Oh my god, I hope I said that right. Kyuhyun?
I don't think you said that right at all.
Kyuhyun.
But anyways.
Kyuhyun.
I think he needs to tone it down on Minyoung. Just a teeny tiny bit. Him and Jinyoung, no one talks shit when you did Nadine dirty. No one talks shit when you did all these girls dirty. Okay?
Let's not forget.
Enough with the Minyoung slander. It's been an episode and a half. An episode and a half. Calm down.
Jinyoung, I really love Jinyoung being on the panel. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he has kind of some of the insider insights, and he's obviously a fucking pro dater, so he's like, he was the first one that pointed out Hajang.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes he's dead wrong, and I'm like, boy, you act like you know everything, and you don't know everything, I promise.
I like how the other hosts tease him, though.
Yeah, they're like, you were wrong.
Yeah, but they're also like, oh, are you getting a crush on her? Yeah. Like, is she your type? Like,
they should send him back into the island.
I know, he should be a bombshell.
Yeah. That would be so funny. I heard some people say that Guanhee, I don't know if they were saying, like, Guanhee himself or other people are trying to make Guanhee the next Jinyoung, in the sense that, like, they're trying to send him into, like, MC and, like, personality and, like, entertainment. Like, they're trying to make him, like, an entertainment guy.
Because Guanhee, like, to me, he's already, like, an established professional basketball player. Yeah. He's a little older. Like, I personally wouldn't see it, but... I like, Hane. I feel like, you know that thing of men are more likable when they don't speak? That's him.
No, listen, he doesn't speak, but when he does, I feel like he catches things that nobody else caught.
Yeah. And it's not, like, outrageous or rude, so...
Yeah.
He's not... I don't have a bad thing to say about him.
Yeah, so, regarding the host, we have a poll going up on our community page, again, which you can vote on, and let us know who your favorite host is. At least from this season, because the previous seasons, like, they don't count. So let us know from, like, how they talk now from these 5 episodes.
Yeah. So we're doing the 4 OG hosts. Jinyoung's great, but he's already been in a poll. So.
And he would win by landslide.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a question.
But the other 4, they're from season 1, but let's take their comments from season 3, is what you were saying. Yeah. Because I feel like now we're really getting each of their personalities come out really strong.
Yeah. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're real, you'll subscribe. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!